The Philadelphia 76ers officially have the third pick in the NBA draft, and the opinions are already flying wild. Keep the pick, trade the pick. What do they do with it? Take Ace Bailey, Dylan Harper. There is so much to get into. Also, Daryl Morey gave some more insight on what the Sixers could do with this pick in a couple quotes last night, and I need to deliver a message to the fan base because honestly, things are kind of wild right now. So we'll get into all of it, man, but welcome in to Philly Take with RB. I'm RB. Do me a favor, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell. I'm going to have a ton of draft coverage out over the next 6 weeks, all platforms included, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. So make sure you're following us everywhere. Join our Discord. We're going to have a lot of stuff to put out there. I am so thrilled. I am excited to turn the page on what was maybe the biggest disaster of a season ever. And it all started last night with the third overall pick. And I have to be honest, I can't believe I had to throw this out there, but I did. And all of the opinions and the differing comments on this are insane to me. Last night, the Sixers could have walked out of there with no picks in the first round. Instead, they not only get a top 6, they get a top 3. And I have so many people commenting that this is going to be a bust and the Sixers are doomed and all the doom and gloom. Are we serious, man? Listen, we need to take a chill pill, take a deep breath. Sixer Nation, I know we are hurting. I know we're traumatized. We are frustrated. But think about how many players over the years have become stars, have become big level impact players. The Sixers have a chance to draft one of them, and there's so much to go, right? This is only day one. It's not even 12 hours since they got the third pick. We're going to have pre-draft interviews. The combine's on right now. You know, private workouts. We know best as Sixer fans that those things can really influence whether to draft a guy or not. The board always changes. So we need to take a chill pill. Enough of the doom and gloom. It's time to turn the chapter. And the Sixers are picking third in the draft. Okay, here are the third picks in Sixers history. Jahlil Okafor, Joel Embiid, and Jerry Stackhouse. Joel Embiid was drafted with the third overall pick. Yes, there's been some misses. You know, let's look at the last 15 drafts, right? There's been some misses, but Luka Doncic, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, LaMelo Ball, Evan Mobley, last year, Reed Shepherd. The Sixers have a chance to get an impact player that can not only affect winning right now, but also be a part of the nucleus going forward if Joel Embiid can't come back healthy, if Paul George can't play healthy and stay healthy. So no matter what, last night was a win, and I knew it was going to be a win thanks to this guy right here. I told you, I had a dream that they were going to get the third or fourth pick. They got the third pick. And when we saw Hornets at number 4 on the live show, I thought they were going to get the number 1 pick. But, you know, a lot of conspiracies going around right now with Cooper Flagg. I mean, how about it? Shout out to our guy, Jared McCain, but his former Duke teammate, Cooper Flagg. And no, they weren't teammates, but his former Duke companion, I'll say, Cooper Flagg, AD, and Kyrie. What do we think about that? You know, people are saying that the lottery was rigged for the Mavs because they traded away Luka. I don't know. But nonetheless, I'm just happy. I'm thrilled that we get to discuss these prospects over the next month and a half. We should all be happy. If you came out of that draft lottery last night thinking anything other than this is amazing, there's something wrong with you. The Sixers lucked out last night in a top-heavy draft class, in a loaded draft class. They needed to keep that pick, especially to give the fans hope. It's not every year that you can draft a top 3 player, but especially when you have 3 max players on the roster, a guy who looked like he was running away with Rookie of the Year last year, and now you get to add another one on top of that. I mean, let's go. Let's go. All right, man. The best part of the night, though, was definitely this. Daryl Morey pretty much embodies the Jimmy Butler meme, right? Remember in the bubble, we now have a new Daryl Morey meme. I put this out on Twitter. It said that moment when you finally catch a break. Daryl Morey knows that this might save his job. Like, this could be the deciding factor between whether Daryl Morey has a job after next year or not. The question is, though, what do they do with it? Do they keep the pick? Do they trade it? Who do they take? The opinions are going wild right now. And I'm going to give you some insight onto where I think their heads stand right now. We'll hear from Daryl Morey as well. But I want to know from you. Let me know down below. What is your first thought on this Sixers draft? Who do you think they should take? Should they trade back? What do they do? Give me all your thoughts down below. And speaking of catching a break, you can catch a break by checking out Mando. All right, shopmando.com. Shout out to our sponsor of the video today. Tell you what, man, that draft lottery last night had me sweating, but not as much as I normally do, thanks to the Mando. This is my favorite right here, the Mount Fuji. Great smells, very unique, soothing smells, and just a very comfortable deodorant that lasts all day, 72-hour odor control, does not irritate the skin. Listen, man, you want to put this thing on, you'll be able to survive a Sixers draft lottery. Whole body deodorant can be used anywhere. The pits, the package, the feet, the back, it doesn't matter. Mount Fuji, I love the bourbon leather. They have the full body spray deodorant. This is by far the best deodorant that I have ever used. I had it right beside me last night because, like I said, I was starting to sweat once the Sixers got up and once the guy lied on live television about the Sixers not having their pick. Funniest part is that he was a Philly guy. But anyway, this bad boy is comfortable. It lasts long and it does not irritate the skin. Right now, they are America's #1 whole body deodorant formula. You need to check them out. Go check out the Mando starter pack on shopmando.com. You get a solid stick deodorant like that one, Creep Tube deodorant, 2 free products of choice like mini body wash and deodorant wipes, and free shipping. Use the code PhillyTake5. Get $5 off of the Mando starter pack over on shopmando.com. Once again, shopmando.com. Use the code PhillyTake5. Let them know that RB sent you. Anyway, Daryl Morey must have used the Mando last night. I know he was sweating through that suit, seeing the Sixers climb up, especially when Kevin Nagandi decided to try to bait them. But anyway, Daryl Morey commented last night on this Sixers pick. He says, yes, that's the plan, to get a high upside player that we also think can contribute right away. It's a big deal, and we feel like a pick 3 is a great spot to be. That's what Daryl Morey said when asked about if they're going to select a player at number 3. Daryl Morey said, quote, our plan is to keep it. The expectation is that the Mavs will take Cooper Flagg at number 1. Spurs are a wild card at 2 and could either stay put or trade it for a vet. And the Sixers will likely be choosing between 2 of Dylan Harper, Ace Bailey, and VJ Edgecombe. So ladies and gentlemen, what do? Like I said, I'm going to have a lot of draft breakdowns and all this stuff put out over the next several weeks. I don't want to dive so much into the nitty-gritty today, but those are the names that the consensus is putting out there. And the question is one of those names good enough to come to the Sixers and impact winning right now? I do think it's very fair to question whether or not the Spurs are going to take Dylan Harper at 2, a guard out of Rutgers. Think about this, though. They traded everything for De'Aaron Fox. They drafted Stephon Castle, who's probably going to win Rookie of the Year or be right up there. And they have a ton of guards. Same thing that I've been talking about with the Sixers, right? If the Sixers, say, had Dylan Harper fall to 3, do they take him? I mean, he's one of the best talents available in the draft, and he's shown those flashes of, superstar potential. But you have Maxey, you have McCain. Grimes is most likely coming back. So do you want to have all those guards on that rookie timeline outside of Tyrese Maxey? That's a great question. And at the end of the day, a lot of fans are already going wild saying the Sixers need to trade this pick, trade the pick. Here's Mike O'Connor last night, who I had a pretty good discussion with here on Twitter. He says that there would be a possibility of trading down with Houston as part of a 3-team trade. Giannis goes to Houston, number 3 goes to Milwaukee, and the Sixers would get Tari Eason in number 9. Another person talked to me about the Wizards, right? Sending multiple draft picks and picks next year to the Sixers. The Sixers are not even 12 hours removed from getting the pick. Do I think there's a chance they could end up trading this pick? Sure. Why not? But do I think it is highly likely? No, because it's not every year, and Daryl Morey's never even had the chance to get a top 3 pick, and that is usually a player that can impact your franchise for a long time. But again, there's so much between now and then, right? With the workouts and the interviews that are going to decide if the Sixers really have a player graded on their board that is not worth passing up on. So although a trade is possible, right? And the Giannis rumors are heating up, and I don't think the Mavs will trade for him. I don't see them trading Cooper Flagg away, but the Spurs are definitely a wild card at 2. I could see them moving around. I'm not ready to box anything in just yet. And speaking of boxing in, I tweeted this out back in February. All right. Give me a crystal ball, I guess. I said the race for Ace starts now. Get Ace Bailey on the Sixers. And I've liked his game. There's a lot more I want to dive into and watch with him. I didn't want to jinx it before, but here we are. And I said, Sixers fans, how does this look? And again, half the fan base wants him so bad, and the other half is saying that he's going to be the worst prospect ever. I put out this comparison on Twitter just because I looked up Ace Bailey's NBA comps. And this is why on the show yesterday I said I don't like NBA comparisons, because I don't like to put all this pressure on a guy's shoulders or box him into, oh, he needs to become Kevin Durant or Paul George. But they listed some of his comps as Kevin Durant and Paul George. Now, again, it stirred up a whole frenzy. Everybody's saying, oh, well, he's not Kevin Durant. How dare you say he's Kevin Durant? He's not going to become that. A lot of people are saying to me today, oh, he's just Michael Porter Jr. Well, here's a couple responses to that. Number one, since when does being Michael Porter Jr. have to be so bad? This guy was a number one high school recruit in his class. And the only reason he fell to number 14 was because he had some serious injury issues and went to a small school and he couldn't really play that much. And on top of that, he also carved out a niche role for himself and ended up helping the Nuggets win a championship 2 years ago. He was vital in that role. And we were saying things like, man, if only the Sixers had a Michael Porter Jr. And at the end of the day, my last thing is, who the heck are you to say that Ace Bailey can't be Kevin Durant? The guy has never stepped on an NBA floor yet. He's 18 years old. So because we're talking about him in this game at Rutgers and this game playing next to Dylan Harper, he can't become Paul George or Kevin Durant. I don't like how everybody is jumping the gun. All the Twitter GMs are saying this guy is limited to this and that. How do we know? We are not there yet. So again, ladies and gentlemen, I want everybody to take a deep breath, relax. We'll be okay. We'll figure it out more. Maybe there's prospects we'll like more at number 3. Maybe the Sixers can trade back to 5 or 6 and still get the guy they want. At the end of the day, the Sixers got a higher pick than all of the other teams in the East last night. The Sixers made out better. For once, the luck was on their side, right? Cooper Flagg's not going to Brooklyn or Washington. He's going out west. And I do like Ace Bailey, and I'm excited to dive in more. But here is Ace Bailey today at the NBA Draft Combine. There's a couple seconds of him shooting. I mean, look at that jumper. It looks pretty clean to me. Again, just a drill, right? GMs and stuff in attendance. But he also ran a very quick shuttle time. So, we're going to have to take a look at these measurables and see how it grades out and see how they play against each other and all those types of things. But that is where I am at. What do you think about the Sixers drafting at number 3? Do they take Ace Bailey? Do they take Dylan Harper? I think if Dylan Harper was to fall to 3, even though I don't necessarily want another guard, he might be too good to let him slip, right? And you figure out the rest of it later. You're drafting best available. That's what Daryl Morey already said he's going to do. And although he said he's going to keep the pick, you never know, right? That's just hearsay. Maybe he'll go out and trade it. So give me your thoughts down below. Appreciate everybody for tapping in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.